Good morning, and we want to welcome you to another episode of Breakfast with the Greenes. We're your hosts. I'm James Greene.
And I'm Cynthia Greene, and we are founders of Marriage Built to Last, and we are America's favorite couple.
So we want to welcome you to Saturday morning breakfast. As you can see, we're not actually cooking breakfast. We're just sitting here having a conversation.
We're drinking breakfast.
We're drinking our breakfast.
We're on a fast, so these are smoothies. I'll tell you what's in them a little later.
So this is breakfast. So before we get started, since this is January, the beginning of the year, we're going to continue our conversation about creating a vision. Whether it's for your marriage, whether it's for your relationship, whether it's just for you. But you have to have a vision going into the new year of where you're going and maybe where you want to be and maybe what you want to accomplish throughout the year. So this is January. We're going to be continuing on that this month of January. So before we get started, we always ask you to share this out. All you have to do is go to the bottom of the screen and hit the share button, because we know a lot of people want to do things this year, maybe want to accomplish things this year. So we want to help you get started on that journey, on that road to accomplishing something, all right? So just go to the bottom of the screen and hit the share button. What else you could do is start a watch party, because what you're watching, other people want to know what you're watching. They'll ask you, so what have you been watching? Well, I've been watching this program, or I've been watching that program. So that's all you have to do is hit start a watch party. Or like I said, go to the bottom of the screen and hit the share button. All right? All right.
Keep talking.
Yeah, so that's what we're going to be talking about. But
Sorry about that. I was trying to adjust the camera.
Yeah.
So I want to tell you guys, Happy New Year again. It's been, what is today's date? The 8th, 9th?
The 9th.
Yes, we're in the 9th day of the new year. And I have a question for you guys. What are you going to do in 2021 to help your marriage grow or continue to grow? That's our question for you this morning. What are you and your spouse going to do in 2021 to continue to grow your marriage? That's the big question today. How do you answer it?
Right.
How do you answer it? So like James says, we're continuing our conversation about vision and goals for your marriage, for your life, for your future, to accomplish your dreams. And so we want you to post, what are you doing to make sure you have an amazing marriage this year, 2021, and going forward? Right.
And I want to start with a quote, and this is from the actress Audrey Hepburn. She said, the best thing to hold on to in life is each other. Let me say that again. The best thing to hold on to in life is each other. And if you're married or you're in a relationship, that is the best thing to hold on to, because trust me, starting over is not easy. Let's be honest.
It's not fun. It's
because
not good.
When you and like we're talking about a vision for your marriage or for your relationship, even for yourself, and it starts at your core values. So if you're starting over, it's hard to get to that place where you're on the same page. It takes time. Let me just say that, not hard, because if it was easy, everyone would do it. So it's supposed to be hard, but it takes time. So like Audrey Hepburn said, the best thing to hold on to in life is each other, because you don't want to start over, find out what that person's vision is, what that person's core values is. It takes a whole lot of time to get to that place where you're comfortable, to get to that place where, okay, we're at that place where now we know what our vision is, now we know what our core values is, now we know what goals we want to accomplish are, so we can grow together. It just takes time. So if you're already in a relationship or in a marriage and you've already started that journey, all we want to do is help you this year take that journey to the next level. Get to them goals you want to set. Have that vision manifested. Write down the core values, what is important to you. Amen?
Amen.
So that's what it's about. And let me tell you, one of the principles that Cynthia and I actually stand on is being on the same page is what you want for your marriage or your relationship.
Yes, as we said last week, Amos 3:3 says, can two walk together except they be agreed? So I always use this example. If I say, honey, I want to go for a walk, and he says, okay, we walk out our door, and we go down the street, and I say I want to go right, and he said he wants to go left, and if we're at a standstill, what do we do? Do we go right? Do we go left? Do we want to do what Cynthia says, or do we want to do what James says? No, we're going to stay right there in that spot until we come into agreement. Either we're walking together or we're not. Either we're going in the same direction or we're not.
Right.
So we either make a decision to go left, we make a decision to go right, we make a decision to go straight, or guess what? We go back home.
Right.
But we have to be in agreement.
Right. So this year, as you start your journey on a year on your vision and maybe your goals and what you want to achieve, you have to be in agreement. That's what Cynthia is saying. You have to be on the same page, because like the principle we stand on is being on the same page is what you want for your marriage or for your relationship. You have to be on the same page, because if, like she said, can two walk together? Let's agree. Because if you're going one way and the other person's going the other way, come on, how can you see your vision manifested? How can you reach the same goals when you're on two different paths?
And I want to say this. It doesn't matter if it's just your goal. If your spouse don't agree with you or see eye to eye with you, it's not going to necessarily be as fun or maybe as effective or maybe just happen as quickly, because you're fighting a battle.
Right.
You're either trying to hide it from them, you're trying to sneak it, or you're doing it alone with no support. And that's so I know a lot of us women, we want to be strong and we want to do it on our own. We don't care. We feel like, okay, if you don't support me, I'm going to do it anyway. And yes, you should do it anyway if it's truly your God-given purpose, calling, goal, vision, dream, whatever that is. But isn't it so much sweeter when he's on your side, when he's walking with you, when he's believing in you and pushing you and cheering you on and supporting you and doing whatever you need him to do, even if it's just being there for you, just being a listening ear. It is so much better when you do it together.
Right. And like Cynthia said, that being on the same page, because if you're not, it's like, remember that game Tug of War?
Oh Lord!
And, you know, you're trying to pull them.
Game.
You're trying to pull them to make them fall. They're trying to pull you,
Yes,
make it fall, and you're going back and forth and back and forth. And that's how
stronger.
Right, and that's how your marriage or your relationship is going to be if you're not on the same page. If you're not in agreement, it's like a tug of war. You're pulling for him. Well, you need to come to my side, and this is what I want to do. Or, well, you need to come to my side, and this is what I want to do. And you're going back and forth. Like she said, you may be hiding something. You may be doing something behind that person's back, you know, because you want to achieve a goal that they're not in agreement with. And it's like that tug of war. So that's what we always say. We always say you need to be on the same page, you know, and that's a principle we stand on. You need to be on the same page, and that is so important. And that is what you should want in your marriage or in your relationship, so you can move forward and grow together.
Absolutely. So today we really want you to just open up your mindset, open up your thoughts, open up your conversation with one another about what you want in your marriage, what you want in your life, what do you want in 2021, what do you want in your future, what do you want? What do you want individually? What do you want together? We want you to open up your mind and truly start to think about that. And we want you to dream big, like dream big, you guys. Dream big. And you know, I love telling this story, but you know, as sometimes when you tell people things you've accomplished, they think you're bragging, they think you're showing off or whatever. But I love hearing people's success stories. How can I know what I can accomplish someday if I don't know someone else has already done it? Right? So we had a big dream. We wanted our forever home. We wanted our permanent home, our last home here on this earth, as far as we know, where we would spend our senior years at. And we talked about, we had a vision of sitting on the porch in our rocking chairs and chilling by the fireside and just all these things. We had a dream.
Key point, vision, dream. Go ahead.
I said both of those words? Yeah. So we had a dream. It was a dream at first, and we used to talk about it. And then we really started to visualize and talk about key things that we wanted. Like, I really want this, and I really want that. Like, I really wanted a really large island, and guess what? I got it. So we talked about it, but then we had to take action. So that's my next question for you. What are you going to take action on in 2021?
Right.
What are you going to do?
And to take action, you have to have a plan of attack, so to speak, an action plan. Let's go there. Action plan. So when, like Cynthia was saying, you have a dream, and now your dream is becoming your vision and your goal that you want to accomplish, you have to have a plan. So that plan encompasses taking action. It encompasses putting down words that'll help you get to that vision, get to that idea, get to that goal that you want to set, because that's your plan. And when you have a plan, you use action to get, use action for that plan to get to where you want to be. And that's what we talk about. So when we talk about a vision, what's it start with? Core values.
That's right.
You have to make sure your values are the same. Your values is what's most important to you. Like Cindy was talking about our dream, about our forever home. It was something that we both had to want. It's something that we both, was that our core, was that a value, one of the key core values that we had? Yes. Because we felt as you get older, we don't want to be going up and down the steps, especially if you have a basement and your bedroom is on the second floor. You got to go to the first floor and then the second floor. It's too many steps. And when you get older, it's hard going up and down the steps. Mm-hmm. So one of our goals, one of our dreams that became our vision was to have a home all on one level. So we wouldn't have to go up and down the steps.
Mm-hmm. And some people like to say, okay, going up and down the steps is good exercise. Yes, it is if you're going to do it continuously for 10, 15, 20 minutes. How many of y'all really do that? So just going up the stairs 3 times a day, or when it's time to go to bed, it's not real exercise.
Right, but when you get older, you may have knee surgery or hip surgery or anything.
No, but I'm saying some people are saying they didn't want a single level home because the stairs is good exercise.
And let me tell you, let me give you a little story. My aunt, God rest her soul, who passed away at 93, she had a 2-level home, and she actually fell down the steps and broke her hip. Then she couldn't go up and down the steps. And we're thinking, if she would have had a 1-level home,
and she had to sleep on the couch in her final days,
because she couldn't get up to her bedroom.
And yes, she could have got that electric thing that goes up the stairs, but you guys, you just don't know. It takes a lot of paperwork and a long time to get that stuff processed and get the state to give it to you.
So if you want to be in your home forever, where you're going to grow old, as you get older, it's going to be more difficult to go up and down the steps. So we just wanted to avoid that. We were thinking long term.
That's right.
And that's what the key is, thinking long term. Thinking, okay, as time goes on, where do you want to be? What do you want to do? What do you want to accomplish? How are you going to live out your last days, so to speak? And that's what we were talking about, and we had to make sure, like I'm getting back to our core values, we had to make sure our core values are the same. So what is the key to your core values? Is what's important to you. So we encourage couples to either write down what's most important to them, what they maybe can't live without. Do it individually. And then when you come together and compare it, the ones that you have the same, those are your core values for the two of you. Those are the ones that the two of you can look at and say, okay, these are our core values. Now that we have our core values for our marriage, for our relationship, for our family, for our even home, so to speak, now this is what we can take on and start looking at our vision, start looking at our goals, our dreams, what we want to accomplish, where we want to be.
And so when James talks about that core values and how they can lead to your vision, that's part of getting to your goals too, because there are some things that we're called to do in the earth as individuals, but a lot of people don't know that couples are called to do some things in the earth together. And so when you do what we were just saying, getting your core values that the two of you have together, creating a vision for your life, then this light bulb goes off. Oh my gosh, this is what we're supposed to be doing. How are we going to accomplish? And these are the types of things that we talk about and we teach you. We go through the steps. One of the kernels from my smoothie is in my throat. I can feel it. We take you through these series of steps so that you realize and come to see some things that God wants you to do in this earth, in your life, in your marriage. And then you can start thinking about some of those goals other than just the goals that we come up with on our own. That's excellent that you have goals in your life. But what are your purpose-filled goals? Right. What are your calling goals? What are your vision goals that God has for you? Right? So those are some of the things we want you to start thinking about.
Right. And so what she's saying is, what we want to encourage you to do. Write down your individual goals, and then maybe write down your marriage goals, your relationship goals on what you want to accomplish together. And it's okay that you may have different values. You may have different goals. It's okay, because what that does is that encourages compromise and understanding, because it opens up the lines of communication. Listen to me. People always talk about how communication is key in a relationship. When you write down your individual goals and then your marriage goals, and your spouse or your significant other or the person you're in a relationship with, they write down their individual goals and their relationship goals, and it may be different, that's okay. What that does is, like I said, encourage compromise and understanding, because what you do is talk about it. Okay, why do you have this down? Why do you have that down? Well, here's what we have down together. And that is the key. So now you know what you maybe want to accomplish together and what you may want to accomplish individually. Like, say, for example, going back to school, you can say, well, I want to go get my doctorate. I want to go get my master's. Well, that's an individual goal. And your spouse or your significant other may understand that, so they'll encourage you.
Well, and then also you start talking about, okay, so let's see how we can do this.
Yep.
And you're going to continue to work? Are you going to do it at night? Am I going to have to help with the kids? Am I going to have to, start cooking dinner more? What can I do to support you on your goals? This is why it's so important for couples to sit down and talk about their goals, whether they're individual or they're joint. It's super important. You don't know how your spouse can support you. But if you just decide, I'm going back to school, you tell your spouse, I'm going back to school, you go register for classes. My classes is on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and you just start going to classes. You never really sit down and talk about how it's going to affect the two of you. How's it going to affect your family? How's it going to affect your household?
Because you may have to pick up a child from soccer or football or cheerleading or dance or anything. And usually you pick them up on Tuesdays. So if your class is on Tuesdays, that's what you have to talk about. But baby, I can pick them up another day if you pick them up on Tuesday, because I got class on Tuesday. Right. Those are the sort of things we're talking about. Those are the things that you have to establish.
These talking points is how you help your marriage grow. Exactly.
And that's what I said when you're encouraging compromise and understanding. Because now you're understanding what you want to accomplish and how you can get to accomplish. And that's what we're talking about. If you're talking about your vision and your goals and the plan. Because just think, when you say, well, I usually pick them up on Tuesdays, can you, because I got class, that is a plan. The plan of action, how you're going to accomplish that and still go on with life and do the things you want to do as a couple, as a family, or even individually.
How many of you have a dream burning on the inside of you? How many? Just raise your hand and say yes. Yes, if you have a dream burning on the inside of you. And then my second question is, have you shared it with anyone? Have you shared it with your spouse? Have you shared it with your mate? Have you? Do you have a dream burning on the inside of you? Raise your hand if you do. I know I do. I have a dream burning on the inside of me. And what are you going to do to accomplish it in 2021? That's why we want you guys to come out tonight, and tomorrow night. Come tonight or tomorrow night to our Vision Power Couples Vision and Goals Party. It's a party, y'all, because we have fun at the party. We play music. We do interactive things. We get to know one another. We get to share, but you get to grow your vision. If you've never had a marriage vision, we're going to help you with that.
Right.
If you've never had joint marriage goals or couples goals that you wrote down together, we're going to help you with that. If you've never thought about a plan to create that goal you've already talked about, we're going to help you with that. We're going to help you with so many things in this Vision and Goals Party. So we want you to go to couplesgoals2021.eventbrite.com and get registered for tonight or tomorrow night.
Right. Because I was going to say, and the key is that then you will understand maybe what your core values are. You will understand what your significant other's core values are. Because I know a lot of couples don't do this. They don't write down their core values. They don't even come up with, say, a vision statement or a mission statement. And let me tell you, every great company or business has a vision statement. Colleges, universities, businesses, they all have, for example, Nike. What is their vision? Just do it.
Do y'all know that it's like a high percentage, like 75, 80% of wealthy people, like super millionaires, are married? So that means they didn't get there on their own.
That's right.
Do you think they just did it by themselves? No, they did it
They
together.
had support. They had support.
Yeah, they had support one way or the other. Whether the wife stayed home and took care of the kids while he went out and busted his butt and made the money, or vice versa. Or they did it together, or they just supported each other. They bounced ideas off each other. They talked about it. They dreamed about it. They wrote it down. They worked together, whatever it was. But wealthy people are usually married.
And the key is, even if you're single, do you know what your core values are? Do you know what's important to you? And that's what we say. If you look at, say, a sheet of paper and you circle some, it had a bunch of words, or if you write them down, you'll realize, wow, I didn't realize that was most important to me. And then you can come up with a vision statement for yourself. And then when you get into a relationship or you get married, say, this was mine. Well, let's do one together. And it may be similar because to make sure you're on the same page. And that's what it's about. It's about understanding. It's about, being combined, putting your thoughts, her thoughts, your ideas, her ideas, your goals, her goals, putting them all together and coming up with a vision statement, with vision goals, with a plan, and how you want to get to it. Because trust me, the only way to benefit, the only way to grow, the only way to prosper, and trust me, God knows you're going to prosper. And he even says in Psalms 133, where there's unity, that's what God commands a blessing. He's going to bless your relationship. You're going to prosper. Mm-hmm. The same promises he made to Abraham.
When you're on the same page,
right,
in agreement.
The same promises he made to Abraham is the same promises he's making to you. Mm-hmm. But all you have to do is agree about it. All you have to do is come together about it so you can achieve it, so he can bless you. Because that Psalms 133, that blessing, he's commanded it on you, on your life, on your relationship. It ain't nothing you have to pray for. It ain't nothing you have to have faith for. All you have to do is come into agreement, be unified. And he's going to bless that marriage. He's going to bless that relationship.
That's so true. So you guys, do you have a big dream? Do you have a big vision? And what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do to accomplish that dream? And that's why we get so passionate and so push couples to do the vision and goals party. If you don't do it with us, do it on your own. But it's so important. So many couples, like we have couples that come to this group. You can be married, you can be engaged, or you can be seriously dating.
That's right.
Because we've had seriously dating couples that came to our workshops, especially when they were live. And they wrote down their individual goals. And when they started talking about their joint goals, they came up with a marriage date. Yep. They came up with a wedding date, I guess I should say. Because they realized that is both of their goals. And they never really took the time and sat down and really ironed out what they wanted. Like they came up with a plan to pay off debt before they got married. Right. And even before they got married and as they got married, how they going to put their money together to buy a home,
to
have that wedding. We've seen couples accomplish so much in these vision and goals parties. When you sit down with your spouse and you start talking about these things and you start telling them your dreams and your vision and your goals, you start coming up with ideas together on how to accomplish it, how to help each other, how to do it together. That's what we're talking about, you guys.
And this is one of the benefits of coming to the vision goal setting party, because you get to understand not only your individual goals, not only your individual core values, but your combined core values and your combined goals.
Yes.
And that's what you build on. Because see, when you have your core values and you have a vision you have your core values on what's important to the two of you together, and you have a vision on what you want to accomplish, then you can set that plan of action. Then you can say, okay, here's what we're going to do together. And trust me, you're each other's accountability partner during that time.
That's right.
Because you know what you have to do. She knows what she has to do. And you talk about it along the way.
That's right.
And trust me, and you get to celebrate along the way. Like, wow, we accomplished one of our goals. It may have been a small goal, but we still get to celebrate. And when you celebrate, it makes you want to celebrate even more. So get to that next goal. Get to that next achievement, because as you go on and on,
next level,
right? And that's what this year is about.
Level up.
To that next level, leveling up. And the only way to do that is to start somewhere, to start sometime.
Right. So you guys, this is what you get when you come to Power Couple Vision and Goals Party. You get to learn what you and your spouse's core values are. You get to create a vision for your marriage, or work or grow on and work on the one that you already had. You get to work on your individual goals. You get to work on your joint goals. And then you get to, we can help you at least one of them to create a plan towards accomplishing it. You get to share with the class if you want. You don't have to. You get great music. You get us. You get a lot of fun. You get to meet other couples. And guess what? This is really, really key. When the class is over, that isn't it with us. We have ways for you to stay connected so that we can support you and encourage you and be a sounding board for you as you go throughout trying to accomplish those goals. We stay with you through the journey.
Right, because
how often does that happen?
And the key is everyone can't do everything alone. Sometimes you need help. Sometimes you need encouragement. I mean, not just each other, but as a couple. You know, you need other couples. Let's do this. Like-minded. Let's go there. You need like-minded couples that you could talk to, that you could bounce ideas off of, and that it can encourage you to go to where you want to go. You know, because trust me, you may come across a couple in our group that's done that, been there, done that. And they say, well, here's what we did. And maybe you say, you know what? That's a good idea. I could take it and expound on it, or I could take it and modify it a little bit to help me grow even more.
Right.
Because they can say, you know what, here's what I did, but it only got me this far. Then you can take that idea and say, you know what, I can modify it. And not only can I go to where he went, I can go to that next level. And that's all we want. We want you to go to that next level, to level up.
There you go. So you guys, get on it. Get on it. Like I said, whether you come to our workshop or not, we want you to be successful. We want you to be powerful. We want you to be happy. We want your marriage to grow. We want to see you win.
That's right.
We want to see you win. So share with us in the group. If you've already written out your goals for 2021, share within our group, Marriage Built to Last Movement. Marriage Built to Last Movement. Share it with us. Let us know.
What I like about everything Cynthia's saying is that could be your foundation. So just think about building on that solid foundation. You know, because now you know what you want. You know your goals or your vision. You may have a plan of action. Now all you do is get to build on that. And that's that foundation. Because when you look back on it, when we look back on it, on what we talked about a couple years ago, we built on that foundation, just like a home. You want to build on a solid foundation. But what are you going to do to start it? Okay, we have the foundation. We want to get married and have a home built. Okay, now you have the steps to get married. Now you know, well, we got to get our credit right. Maybe you got to save for closing costs. Now you know what you have to do, your plan of action. All you're doing is building on that foundation that you started.
That's right.
And that's what we want for you. We want you, when you do these vision and goal setting parties, or the ones that Cynthia and I are doing, we help you lay that solid foundation. And then all you have to do is build on that. And when it's written down, write the vision down and make it plain. When you're looking at it like, when you look at it and say, oh, here's the vision. You know, here's the plan. Let's just build on that.
That's right.
So you can take that as your base, your solid foundation, and build on that.
Right.
That's all we want for you.
Because even for us, now that we got the house, it doesn't just stop
That's
there.
Right.
Not only we furnishing the house, but we're getting to know our new area, our new neighbors, new things to do. Right. You know,
you may have more land and you may want a patio. Okay, so or you may want a deck. Say you don't have that now and you want to do that. Okay, you can write that down. We want a patio. So what do? You go get a few estimates. Then you say, okay, here's the best one for us. You know, maybe you have a plan, a design. Say, okay, this is what we want. You build on that. How much does it cost? Fine. Do we save? Do we tap into savings? Do they have financing? See, this is the whole only things you talk about. You know, This is building on that foundation of having a deck or having a patio. building on that foundation of we have the house built now. What extra do we want? Do we want a swimming pool? How much does a swimming pool cost? Do we have enough land? Do we want to extend our land? Do we want a flower bed? Do we want to build a garden? Do we want to grow our own vegetables?
Right.
Now that you have the home, you may say, you know what? Now I want to have a garden. I want to grow my own vegetables.
That's
So,
it.
are you going to build it? Are you going to have somebody build it? Are you going to buy the supplies? See, these are the things we're talking about. I'm just giving you examples, but all you're doing is building on that foundation that you started. And coming to our vision and goal setting party is you're laying that foundation. You're putting down that vision. You're putting down a plan. You know it's important to you because you already worked down your core values. You already found that work. All you're doing is building on it to get to where you want to be, to go to that next level.
And that's all that we're saying.
Exactly.
And when I think about the foundation, now that we have the house, it's a heart thing too. Like now that we're in here, now what? What do we want to do to make sure we're comfortable when it's time to retire? What do we want to do to make sure it's comfortable when our kids come here? How are we going to spend our days while we're living here?
Right.
It's not just about the material things. It's about the heart thing too.
And
it's about bringing warmth and love and peace and joy into our home, into our life, into our family's life. Like, what are we going to do now?
Right.
What's next?
Because you can say that you want a bigger place because you're growing your family. And that could be the start. That could be a foundation. But like Cynthia said, it's a heart thing. What did God say? He will give you the desires of your heart. Which means not only he give you everything you need, he will give you everything you want.
There you go.
Amen?
Amen. Amen, amen, amen. So you guys, get to working on those dreams. Get to working on those goals. Get to working on that vision. Because we want you to win. So go over to couplesgoals2021.eventbrite.com and get registered. Let us help you. That's what we're here for. We have a class tonight, starts at 6:45, and a class tomorrow night, a workshop, party, whatever you want to call it, starts tomorrow night at 6:45. We're going to pump it up, y'all. We're going to have some fun. So let us know if you have something that you want us to do here in 2021.
Tell them where they can go to register.
I just did.
Oh, okay.
couplesgoals2021.eventbrite.com. You can go to that link, or you can just go to Eventbrite and type in Couples Goals 2021. You can type in Marriage Built to Last, see all of our events that are coming up, and get all the information that you need. We just want to be here for you. We want to help you. We want to help you grow. We want to see you win. Right.
And that's what we're doing. We're helping you find out what your core values are. We're helping you find out what your vision is.
So let us know if you need anything else in 2021. If there's something you want to see us doing, let us know. And you know what? We're also looking for couples of the month. So if you feel like you and your spouse can represent the couple of the month, shoot us an inbox message to info@marriagebuilttolast.com, and I'll post that in the feed, info@marriagebuilttolast, and we'll send you all the information. Right, because this is 2021, new year. This is where it starts. I always say it doesn't matter when you start, you just have to get started. Right. So we want to help you get started. We want to help this year be one of the greatest years that you've ever had. That's right. Oh gosh, we're so excited for you. So we want to thank you for joining us this morning. And remember, if you build it, it will last. God bless you. Have a great Saturday. And we will see you next time on Breakfast with the Greene.